This is It Stage, Elite Senior Presidential Directors, Rick and Carrie Robertson.
Well, who is ready to rise up? Woo! In fact, rise up. I think it's time. Everybody stand up. Stretch your legs. Renita says run in place. Come on, get some blood. Yes. Awesome. This is it. There is no doubt. Awesome. And all of you online, we want to see you too. You can stand up and dance. You can shake your hands. You can wave. But for those of you online, welcome. And I would say drop I am in if you're ready to rise up. Because this is no doubt the place to be. And we are absolutely excited. You know, it's truthful. It's time for you to elevate your life. There is no doubt about it that the time is now. You're in the right place. And I'm telling you, the world needs us now more than they ever have. And so there's people that are praying for this opportunity. I mean, absolutely praying for it. And you've heard it over and over and over. Don't hide behind the patch. The patch is going to perform every single time. And so whenever you get that into your spirit and it becomes a part of your belief system, man, you will become unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. And so I just believe it is time for us all to stop playing small.
Yeah, for sure. So I just want to share, I want to congratulate everybody that's on here, everybody that's in this room on being at this major event. Because Carrie and I learned a long time ago in this business that the major events make all the difference. They change everything for your business. And you may come to an impending event or a major event, and it only takes one little nugget that you're going to get at that event. Let me tell you a little story. There was a guy that was going to quit. He was going to quit direct sales, didn't want any more of it because he couldn't have any success. But you know, his sponsor talked him into going to one more major event, just like this. And at that major event, he got one nugget in there that changed his life forever, that made him go talk to a coach with strength about opportunity. And not just the products, but the opportunity, because that's what that coach was looking for. That coach's name was Danny McDaniel. And that caused Danny to go talk to another guy who caused that guy to go talk to another guy who talked to a guy named David Williams. But then David went and talked to his sister, Debbie, who I used to work with. And Debbie saw us in a little bitty restaurant in Abilene, Texas. A couple of broke kids, couldn't rub two pennies together. But Debbie stood up and talked to us with strength about the opportunity. We'd already been approached by the products 3 times. We didn't want products. We needed money. We needed money. Debbie stood up with a 60-second story and told us what she was making, what she was going to do to help us do it, and that there was a trip on the table to Maui, and she was going with or without us. So she gave us fear of loss. So we just looked at each other and said, hey, she said, I'll tell you, the system, there's a perfect system to fall into here. It's easy. All you got to do is talk to people. It's like, all right, we're in.
And we were in. And guess what? In 6 weeks, we were in Maui. So I want you to hear something, though, here's the reality. We all, every one of us, in this room, online, we have the same opportunity to be that missing piece for someone else. I'm telling you, and I think about the impact of that right there. If that man had not have made it to one more event and learned to stop just talking about product and went and talked about opportunity to Danny, think of the hundreds of thousands of lives that wouldn't have been impacted. But I can tell you just the impact it had on us. And so she did give us fear of missing out. But you know what she taught us? It was see the end from the beginning. And so that's where you're at today. You've got to really understand there is an end out there, some things you want, a big dream, a big vision. But for us, that started with Maui. So we did everything we could to put Maui in front of us. For you, you want to put Punta Mita in front of you right now. And you know, here's the thing is some people go, well, I don't want to go to Mexico. Too bad. It's not about you. See, you got to get out of your own way. I said that nice, right? Okay, because here's why, is people will say, well, I don't really want to travel. Okay, well, the person that's standing in front of you that's never had a honeymoon, they dream of traveling. The family that's never been able to afford a family vacation, they dream of traveling. So you don't know what you don't know. So you've got to go out there and offer the whole package to people. Give the gift away and let people decide what it is they want. And so whenever you see the end from the beginning, I'm telling you, it is so much bigger than what's right in front of you. Because for us, we couldn't pay the bills. Look, that we didn't know. I'd heard about the product, but the truth is that I couldn't afford it. And so it didn't enlighten me. It didn't, Danny and Diane couldn't afford it, so it didn't grab them, right? But when she stood in front of me and told me what she was earning and what she was doing and how she could help me, she literally let me see the end from the beginning. And at that point, everything in our world changed. And so you've got to get a vision, and you've got to hold on to it, and you've got to understand that it's not a conference call when God gives you a vision. So listen, not everybody's going to be in alignment with your vision. And I'm going to go ahead and say this because I am so grateful to God that this man has always stood beside me in my visions. Because I know that's not always the truth. And I know that's not where everybody's at, because sometimes the enemy shows up in your own four walls to try to stop you from your dreams and your visions. And your why has got to be so strong. And I shared with one of our teammates this week, I said, you know, the truth is I won't stand before God one day and him say, well, why didn't you, well, my husband didn't want me to, or my friend told me it was stupid. No, he's going to say, why didn't you listen to me for the plans and the purpose I had for your life? And so you have to just go, all right, I am going to see the end. I'm going to hold on to my why and my purpose. And listen, all kinds of things. We do know that the enemy is real and he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And so it's going to come at you in different waves. And I'm just going to share one quick story with you. And that's because when we got started in business, we were winning. We had already been to Maui. We were making money. I was pregnant with Hannah, so she's right there. And listen, I'm going to blame it on pregnancy, okay? The emotions were high, but then, I'm sorry, Olga, who was sitting right there trying to talk, and I was weeping the whole time on the front row because I'm so proud of her. I love you. But it was so, it's just one of those, I was so emotional because somebody had told me what they wanted. And I went to do a meeting, and they didn't show up for their people. But I was there, and so I handled it all, and I was very pregnant, right? And so I come home, and I'm sitting on the kitchen floor, and I'm just in my own little moment in sorrow. And I said the words, I quit. This is hard. What was hard about it? Nothing, okay? Looking back, I can tell you nothing was hard, but in my moment, it was hard. But you see, I had a little boy that walked in the room, and here's why it's important. I tell people all the time, you listen to good things, and you put good environment. You put things in your environment. So we're always listening to the University of Life, right? You can listen to music, you can listen to teachings, but listen to things that are good. And so we were always listening, and my son walked in, and he said, Mommy, are you okay? He was 6.5 years old. And I said to him, yes, son, I am. And he goes, well, Mommy, I've been watching the clock, and you can't quit for more than 10 minutes. And it hit me, because you know what I told people every single day? I said, my son and my child on the way, they're my purpose. They're my why. See, I was the mom that was wondering how we were going to buy a Christmas present. And this opportunity steps in and changes my life. And so all of a sudden, I'm looking at him, and what I realize is all day, every day, he hears me say, he's my why, he's my purpose. And in that moment, you know what he heard me say? I just quit on you. And it hit me, and I looked at him, and I said, you know what? I am so sorry, but I would never quit on you or your sister. And I can make you that promise right now, son. You will never hear your mother say the words, I quit, ever again. I'm telling you, every one of you could dial his number right now. He is 31 years old, married with 3 children. And I'm telling you, if you said, has your mama ever quit? He'd say, no. But you know what? They're still our purpose. Now, he's 31 and married with children, I just told you, and Hannah's an adult. And she's here building a business, and I've believed he would build a business because the kids just got it, right? Like, everybody loves him, he loves everybody, but he's going through a moment in life. And he called yesterday, and I said, hey, you know you're going to be okay, right? And he said, yes, Mom, I do. And I said, because you got my DNA. And I promise you, any setback is only a setup for a comeback. And I said to him, I said these words to him, because God blessed us with this gift. And you are in a perfect position to win and win big here. See, because at 31, Mama can't make him sit down and look at this opportunity. But I'm not going to back down, right? Because the enemy comes, but he's not coming after my family. And so it's incredible whenever you start to see that. So you just have to know what you want, and it should be big. It should be so big. I think about that all the time. At 6.5 years old, sitting there crying, I made a decision, and he's 31 years old, and it still brings tears to my eyes today. Why? And I told him 2 years ago when we started this, I said, son, I know you don't really understand what it is today, but I promise you one thing. Your 3 children deserve the life that you and your sister have had. And I reminded him of that yesterday. See, because he isn't giving them the life that they had. He's not taking his children. They're not stepping on all the different nations. They're not going, traveling the world. Because he's got a great job.
That's right.
That's the way I look at it. Which means he has golden handcuffs.
Yeah. Well, just a quick reminder to all you guys about being behind your wife's vision and being behind what the Lord's calling for. Billy Ruth's sitting right here on the front, second row. Her mama, raise your hand. You see Carrie's mama right there. She's going to turn 83 this week. So, that's right. So, I told Carrie before, we didn't have 2 pennies to rub together, and I told Billy, I said, she's going to make me a millionaire one of these days. And then she looks at Carrie and says, you still married him? What's wrong with you? So anyways, we're gonna help you out. There's a couple of things that you guys are doing, okay? The missing piece, that's what we want you to understand. There's 2 things that people, if you're not seeing a lot of success in this business, there's 2 things people do wrong. Number 1, what do you think number 1 is? They talk too much, okay? Stop talking. You don't need to talk. You need to talk for about 60 seconds. That's about it. If you're talking more than 60 seconds, you're screwing up. Talk for 60 seconds. Get them to This Is It info, and then make sure you get them, we're getting their product ordered right there. I don't know about you guys, but we just order people's product. I don't ask them if they want to get on a patch, right? Is that how y'all do it? That's how we do it. All right, just making sure. Stop talking so much. The pro system, the system that Steve and Gina have, it's so easy. It's plug and play. You can take a guy or a gal off the street, plug them into the system. They could be making $1 million by the end of the year. I mean, it's just the way it is. So stop talking so much. And number 2, the number 2 most important thing is, just like Debbie did with us, share the message with strength. Okay? Stop backing down from people that tell you, that patch doesn't work. I read something on the internet about, there's all kinds of crap. Stop thinking about that. Carrie and I learned a long time ago to stop listening to people with all the answers and none of the money. Okay? So keep that in your mind. We've got the best opportunity in the world. Best product, best financial opportunity. There's nothing better than what we have here.
That's it.
That's it.
I'm like, this is real live TV. Okay, so.
Live TV.
Well, I just love the fact that, people keep saying, well, how do you connect with people? We get asked a lot, like, how do you start conversations? How do you connect with people? That right there. Listen more than you talk. You want to know how we're all recruiting our Uber drivers? In a 10-minute drive, we're asking questions. We're getting to know them. We're asking where they're from. We're asking, is this your only job, right? Just ask good questions. Let it be really organic. And then, when you see on the thing it says you're arriving in 2 minutes, land it. Take everything they've just told you and paint the picture for them, and then share thisisatinfo.com and let it do your work, because it wins. And I remember when we got started and I talked to Steve for just a few minutes on the phone, and I said, are you doing Facebook? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And he said, no. And if I've talked to him for more than 2 minutes, I've talked too long. So whenever he said that, Todd said it, you've heard it multiple times today, and I just love how that's the way that it always gets weaved into an event, because none of us talk about it. Right? We just come up and we literally, what's on our heart, we share with you, but it is so simple that people want to overcomplicate it. And so be you, be real, be organic with people, ask questions, and then position your message to paint their picture. I was sitting right here this morning, and I told my Uber driver, I know we didn't meet by accident yesterday. You need to get a ticket for this event today because I've got your plan to get you to Florida with your daughter and grandkids by November. See, because he told me all the amazing things he did, you know what I did? I told him one story of Rebecca Plant, because that was his connecting piece. And he was like, I want to know more. And so today, I'm just keep following the system. It's going to work when you work it. Don't overcomplicate it. You have one last thing to say there. I know, because I wrote out the card. I mean, he gave me all of his notes, but I wrote it for him.
Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Well, the key is, one of the most important things we talked about is life is this whole thing is a journey, guys. It's not like a destination to get to elite senior presidential director. That we have not arrived anywhere. We feel like we've just gotten started with what's going on here. So enjoy the journey. I mean, we enjoy the heck out of doing this business. We're like Steve and Gina. We're like Danny and Diane. We're like Andy and Mandy. We enjoy doing this business. We love being mentors. We love raising people up. We love raising their kids up. I mean, this business is incredible with the relationships that you build. You meet people. We'd have never met Danny and Diane if it wasn't for direct sales. I mean, we wouldn't have met Andy and Mandy. Wouldn't be sitting here being buds with Steve and Gina Merritt. I mean, you just think about those relationships right there. That makes it all worthwhile. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. So never forget the role that you're going to play in someone's life, because the truth is that you are the missing piece that someone is desperately praying for. You have to understand that, and you have to believe it. And so whenever, we talk about having your purpose, having your reason for doing this. Sorry, there's a big old long piece of fuzz. You have to have that purpose and that reason. You have to know what you want, and then you have to go out and share this, and share it with passion, share it with conviction. But just know that other people are praying. They're praying in their health. They're praying in their finances. Listen, we have a whole state that's praying right now, and I promise you, there's devastation beyond the fires. There's devastation beyond the loss, financial ruins some of those people will be in, right? They're desperate. And so some people would say, well, I'm not going to talk to any of those people. No, you know what? You be the light. You be the messenger of hope. You're the answer to their prayers. And so don't back away from that. Go out there with confidence and with strength. And, here's the other thing is that I know this. People will fill in their lives with the pieces of you that they need. So whenever you think of a puzzle, think about what it would look like if it was that image on the screen and there was one piece missing. That's not a complete puzzle. No one wants to put that in a frame and put it on the wall, right? They want the complete puzzle. What if you're the missing piece? You are someone's missing piece. You have to recognize that. You have to identify it, and you have to go, you know what? I'm going to do this afraid. I love that movie, We Bought a Zoo, because he talked about 20 seconds of courage. Sometimes you're going to have to just say, this is not about me, this is not about me, this is not about me. And take 20 seconds of courage to share with someone, because I'm telling you, Debbie didn't know what she was doing in the parking lot that day. I mean, she did, but she didn't know the impact it would have. How could any of us know that? Right? But that's the incredible part of this. And I think about the countless lives that we've been able to impact along the way and the ripple effect that's having. And I tell people all the time, you know what? We started with just 1-2. We signed up our first person in LifeWave. And that's now over 13,000 families. And I'm telling you, some of those families, they're so grateful for this technology because the people they love are still in the home with them. That's how powerful it is. And there's families that I know in this place, here in this room today and here online, that are absolutely soaring now financially, and they were in ruins just in the last 2 years of some sort, just like you heard him say up on this stage. People are on their knees. They are begging, send something. And they might not recognize it the first time you call them. Understand that. Follow up, follow up, follow up. You hear that a lot, but I'm telling you, some of the great leaders we have in this business with us today, I followed up for over a year. See, I'm going to be relentless in the pursuit. When I know you need something, I'm kind of like Steve. I don't know why you didn't answer me the first time, but I'm calling you back again. And I've told a few of them, you'd be absolutely foolish not to listen to me. Right. And you've just got to talk with people that you love and you know what they need with strength. So don't back down. Go out there, be fearless, unshakable, and bold.